You're getting two portraits today, Trump versus Biden. Anybody remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots? With all the political excitement, this is what came to my mind, so I just had to do it. I mean, they're red and blue for crying out loud. And it's a lot of fun working on portraits where everyone that sees them knows the personality of the sitters. When I have a busy background with a lot of text like this, I like to start with a pencil drawing directly onto the canvas, and these are two 12 by 12 square canvas. So any of the black areas I filled in with acrylic black paint so it would dry quickly and I could just go ahead and get right into painting my portrait. Since I knew I'd be putting the black acrylic on, I could not use the oil-based primer like I like to do. So the portrait's painted on top of a gesso primed canvas, and you really notice the difference when you're used to painting on oil primed canvases versus the gesso. I mean, the paint just seems to really sink in and is absorbed, so it really does help if you have that oil primer down. Welcome to my channel, Shelly J. Cox. Come along with me on my art journey. Even though I have a pencil sketch down, I'm still working in the selective start manner. I'm looking at my reference and I am just putting down that brush stroke, and then I am looking to connect the next brush stroke to that one, and so on and so forth. Here you can see that I've prepared my palette ahead of time as I normally do. I've got my lights, my mid values, and my darks. And I'll list the oil paints that I have used on the palette in the description. And for those of you that haven't picked up your free guide yet, you can grab it on my website. These questions are really going to help you. It made such a huge difference in making me understand the things that I needed to do to improve my painting and bring it to a more masterful level. And it will definitely help you. All you have to do is just put in your email address and hit the pink button, and the free guide will be on its way. Once I get the initial tiles, the flesh colors laid down, then I'm going to go back over the face and I'm going to lay down more little tiles, if you will, brush strokes, to help blend it a little bit. I don't want to just paint and blend the colors together. I actually want to do that by laying down more brush strokes. And the more brush strokes you lay on top of the initial brush strokes, the more of a blended look you'll get. Now with male faces like these, especially Biden and Trump, they're so expressive. You can leave it pretty painterly looking. It works really good with male faces. But if you're painting female or children, you really want to put down enough brush strokes so that it looks soft and blended when you're finished. Hey, if you're liking these videos and you feel like they're giving you some value, hit that thumbs up button so I know you really do like them. And if you're really interested in following me and coming along on the art journey, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of when I upload a new video, which is typically every Saturday morning. So it's important to realize when you're painting a portrait just exactly where your light source is hitting the face at. So with Biden here, the light source is coming from above and on the left. So you're getting those nice shadows on the right side of the face and under the nose and under the chin. Okay, time for the Trump portrait. So with selective start, I tend to, I don't know why, usually more times than not, I pick an eye to start with. So we've got his eye going in here, a little bit of skin tone around that, and we're just gonna build out. Like I said, with selective start, even though there's a drawing, I'm not really paying too much attention to it. I'm looking at my reference. I'm seeing those colored tile-like shapes and I want to place them down on the canvas, one right next to the other, and just keep building out from those initial brush strokes. So this isn't really one of my more serious type portrait paintings. I'm really having a lot of fun with it, especially that background, having those superhero pows and bams, and just kind of carrying over some of that Rock'em Sock'em Robot 1950s style advertising on the box. I just thought that was really a cool way to go with this type of, I guess you'd say, genre. So you guys probably all know, but those of you that don't know, the presidential paintings all live in the National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C. So I would love it to have these type of paintings also added into the National Portrait Gallery. Wouldn't that be fun? My two very favorite presidential portraits are of Barack and Michelle Obama. Barack painted by Kehinde Wiley and Michelle by Amy Sherald in 2018. I just love the colors and the modern take that was done here. I mean, beautiful. It's funny, as far as presidential portraits go, I never saw this coming. In portraiture, when it comes to painting mouths, especially an open mouth where you can see teeth, or you really have to nail it. It has to be 100% drawn correctly, or the portrait is just going to be off. Something's going to look askew and it's not going to look exactly like your sitter. So if you're going to tackle an open smile where there's a lot of teeth, be prepared to work that until that drawing is 100% correct. Painting ears is always a challenge for me, but I never steer away from a challenge, so here we go, another ear. So the more ears I paint, the better I'll be at painting ears. That's just how it goes. I was at a painting workshop a while back, and I remember the instructor artist saying, you have to paint something 100 times before you really have it down. You really can paint that item or body part or feature in a very masterful way where you really understand it and have a good handle on it. So I need to paint 100 ears. I should be close to that by now. I've painted a lot of ears. I didn't keep track of the number, but if I had to guess, I'd say I'm pretty close to 100. So I have a question for you guys. If there's anybody out there that's interested in learning how to paint portraits, especially following the selective start method, I'm thinking about making a digital course that will teach that. So I'd love to hear in the comments if you guys think that's something that you'd be interested in. Should I do it? Do people want that? I'm kind of struggling with knowing if I should do it or not. I'd love some feedback from you guys. Thanks. I always get so excited when I get to paint with red. I love the bold color and the feelings that it evokes. It just doesn't come up in my paintings too often. So this is fun. So there was no particular reason why I painted this on two separate canvases, other than the fact that that's just what I had on hand. I usually have these 12 by 12 canvases around. I love that size for painting practice portraits, and I figured just putting the two together like this, I knew I wanted to have that word POW in the center, and I just wanted to make sure that they were lined up, and I thought the two canvases worked well in the end. And two canvases painted to hang together like this is also known as a diptych. So we have the red rocket robot and then the blue bomber. I just thought the Rock'em Sock'em robots were too perfect. I mean, the red, the blue, Democrat, Republican, Biden, Trump. I think it's perfect. It's such a good thing when your paintings can have a good concept and really tell a story that's unique. I'm always trying to think of ways and see things in a different way that I've never seen before, and then make that the painting, make that the concept and the story. Remember to go to my website and grab your free guide on painting questions that will help you solve problems and make your paintings more masterful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.